Wait a second. Before I start this, okay, I'm going to give a shout out to Eagles Champ. He sent me this probably earlier or tonight, whatever. So if you're watching this right now, I recorded this last night, but not, So not only we had to deal with the Sixers loss, but then I had to come across some other information about Steven Nelson, because obviously we're waiting for a Zach Ertz trade. That's the momentum of this trade is going to utilize that signing for a cornerback in Steven Nelson. Now, Adam Kaplan has come out with some news. The Eagles are interested. The Eagles want to sign cornerback Steven Nelson, okay? They are not willing to pay. The Philadelphia Eagles are not willing to pay more than $3 million per year. That is just laughable, because you know what? The Eagles only have $5 million cap space. Like, I don't know what. Do you honestly think a starting cornerback and Steven Nelson, and well, people are going to be like, well, he's like, he's one of the free agents that's just, he's been sitting there for a while. So I understand that, but he waited until after the draft. He wanted to kind of see and pick a spot where you want to go. So obviously, there might be some interest from Steven Nelson coming here, and I think he's shown that on social media, on Twitter, and doing all these things to kind of tease the fans a little bit as a free agent. But this is what happens, guys, and I've been telling you this, when the Eagles are not careful with their cap space. This is why. You went to free agency with $3 million this year. You had to restructure from $70 million over the cap just to get under the cap and at least make a slow strategic way in free agency to do something and kind of add some add some players to this roster. Okay. They don't want to pay Steven Nelson more than $3 million. That's just so like, what did you expect you were going to pay him? Like you're going to get somebody for cheap? Like, Steven Nelson's not going to be cheap. He's not going to be like a Stephon Gilmore and Xavier Howard money, but he's not going to be like, you got to give him more than $3 million a year. I mean, let's come on now. I'm not saying he's the best cornerback. He's not a lockdown corner, but he's solid at 28 going into his prime. And you don't want to pay him more than $3 million a year? I mean, our money can only take us so far, but obviously right now, with no Zach Ertz trade, maybe if we traded Zach Ertz, we would be fine. So how many years do they want to pay Steven Nelson? Do they want to have him for 2 or 3 years? Maybe they want something long-term with him, because Darius Slay, after 2022, is a free agent. So potentially losing him and then acquiring Steven Nelson now would be good for at least give him a 2-year deal. So this way, if you want to get rid of him after a year, you can. If you don't, then it is what it is. But they don't want to pay more than $3 million. What? Like, that's like disrespectful towards him. I mean, he at least should be making more than that. That's kind of. Did you guys expect $3 million that we would pay a corner to him? $3 million a year? Nah, I was thinking maybe like 7, maybe like 8, maybe like in that range, probably. But that's kind of a ridiculous number. But like I said, our cap space numbers can only take us as far as we could go. So this is why we have to be smarter with our cap and get rid of players and not hold on to players for too long to where their trade value is gone. Zach Ertz. So, not to put jokes to the side, we're relying on this Zach Ertz trade to make another move, and we need a cornerback. We need one. Okay, I have no faith in Josiah Scott. That's most likely a nickel guy, mostly, that we traded for. Avonte Maddox. I just, a couple undrafted guys. I just have no faith. You're facing good receivers. Every team has great receivers. You can't go into the season having an empty side. Zach McPherson, he's a 4th-round pick. He's going to learn. Maybe he'll surprise us in preseason. I have no idea. But if the Eagles are like, oh, well, that over $3 million a year, that's too much. What do you expect he's going to want? Like, what did you expect, to get him on like the cheap of the cheap? Number one, he's a free agent. Number two, he's a starter. Okay, he was a starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the past few years. Like, what do you expect to pay him that he's going to take that low of an amount? Guys, let's be realistic here. So that's really all I want to bring out. Shout out to Eagles fans for bringing me this news. I was focused on the Sixers tonight. And if you're watching this, tomorrow, I recorded it last night. I already told you this. But, yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So the Eagles might actually lose out on Steven Nelson. And then I'm just trying to figure out. So you already know they're not going after Stephon Gilmore. For those fans that believe on a Stephon Gilmore trade or an Xavier Howard trade, Garyon Conley, Brian Poole. I mean, that's all you got besides Steven Nelson. That's all you got. There hasn't been any reports on Steven Nelson being interested to come here, but obviously he's been showing a lot of signs on Twitter. I have no idea. But this, you got to pay him more. That's just you're getting a starting cornerback. You know what I mean? Doesn't have a bad reputation. He's solid. He's a solid corner. He's not horrible. He's not great. He's not the worst, but he's not bad at all in a system that's used properly. But I'm just like, what? Other than that, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, I just don't have any answers for this, but don't want to go on too long, but it is what it is. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I will see you guys later. Shakes what up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.